So welcome back. We will continue with the Penaeus indicus. In this video, we will see in detail the exoskeleton of Penaeus indicus. We can see that the entire body, just like any arthropods in Penaeus as well, the entire body, it is being covered by a hard chitinous cuticle which forms the exoskeleton, and usually it becomes it gets deposited by lime salts and sclerotin. The exoskeleton, it is formed of several what do you call pieces or plates. It is known as sclerite. Okay, Sclerite, sclerite. The sclerites of the dorsal and the lateral sides of the cephalothorax, it is known as dorsal shield. Okay, the whole structure over here, it is known as the dorsal shield. The dorsal shield of the anterior region, it is known as the dorsal plate, this piece, while the posterior region, it is known as the carapace. Okay, so I hope it is clear. The whole, the sclerite of the dorsal and the lateral sides of the cephalothorax, it is known as a dorsal shield. The anterior part of the dorsal shield is known as dorsal plate, and the posterior part is known as the carapace. Okay, now regarding the dorsal plate, you can see that it is the anterior as well as the um, anterior triangular region, it extending forward to form the rostrum. Okay, and as already mentioned in the previous video, at the base of the rostrum you have the orbital notch where you can find the stalked compound eye being placed, and the carapace, that is the posterior part of the dorsal shield, can see that it freely hangs on the lateral sides, and this freely hanging region, it is known as Branchiostegite or gill cover, and it encloses the gill chamber. Okay, now passing on to the abdomen. So this was all about the exoskeleton of the cephalothoracic region. Passing on to the abdomen, the sclerite of each abdominal segment is separate. Here it was fused to form a dorsal shield on the dorsal and lateral sides, but here on each segment the sclerite is separate and it is independent, and it is ring-like, and it articulates with the adjacent sclerite by way of a very thin, flexible cuticular segment. It is known as the arthrodial membrane. So each of the segment, it is provided with a cuticular covering, that is a sclerite, and the sclerite, it articulates, or it moves with respect to the other two segments or adjacent segments through arthrodial membrane, and this arthrodial membrane, it provides a movable joint. You can see this part, the abdomen, it can be bent. Okay, so it is flexible. This helps in, that is a independent sclerite and joint via arthrodial membrane. This helps in being flexible. Okay, the flexibility, it is provided because of this. And in each of the abdominal sclerite, if you see, this is how it is. The dorsal broad plate, here it is referred as a tergum. The ventral narrow plate over here, the whole part, it is known as a sternum. Okay, the ventral narrow plate, it is known as sternum, and the dorsal broad plate, it is known as a tergum. Okay, while the lateral plates of the sclerite, it is known as a pleura. So repeat, the the sclerites, it can be divided into three regions. The dorsal part, it is known as tergum, the lateral part, it is known as pleuron, and the ventral part, it is known as a sternum. Okay, so these three together form a sclerite of a particular abdominal segment, or abdominal sclerite is formed of these three parts. Okay, and an appendage, it is connected with the pleuron. Okay, you can see here a pair of appendage. Over here one appendage, and there's a second appendage. This is a single segment. Okay, so you can see the appendage, it is connected with the pleuron of its side by way of a small plate. It is known as the epimeron. Okay, so epimeron, it connects the appendage with the pleuron. Okay, so the tergum and the pleura of an abdominal segment slightly cover the corresponding parts of the succeeding segment, and this it is known as the imbricate arrangement. It is actually somewhat overlapping the successive segments, and that kind of an arrangement of terga and pleura, it is known as imbricate arrangement. Okay, now the pleura of you can see here that each abdominal segments, adjacent abdominal segments, they articulate with each other, and this is done because of the presence of arthrodial membrane, and it is done with by a pair of hinge joints. So abdominal segments can move upon each other only in vertical plane due to the arthrodial membranes and hinge joints between them. So you can see that between two adjacent abdominal segments, there are arthrodial membrane as well as hinge joints, and that makes it articulating, but the articulation is only in a vertical plane. Okay, so this is about the exoskeleton. Okay, now coming to the next part we have is a what do you call the appendage. Okay, the appendage, it is you can see this is a structure of the appendage. Here you can see the base is the coxa, the proximal part. Okay, this is where the appendage starts. Okay, the proximal part, it is known as the coxa, then comes the basis, and then the two rami, that is two branches, you can say, the endopodite and exopodite. So this is the basic structure of an appendage. Okay, of any appendage on Penaeus. The appendages, they are known as Bioramous. Each segment of the body, starting from the cephalothorax to the abdominal tip, do bear a pair of jointed appendages, and these appendages are of the same plan, which is referred as a Bioramous type. Okay, it is known as a Bioramous appendage. Okay, now what is Bioramous appendage? An appendage which consists of two rami or two branches is what is referred as a Bioramous appendage. Here we can see the base, the proximal part is, it is composed of coxa, and the coxa, it is for attachment of the appendage with the body. Okay, and the next segment, it is the basis. The basis, it bears, here you can see. Okay, so this is the what you call yeah, so basis, it bears the rami. Okay, the two branches. The outer one, it is the exopodite, the inner one is the endopodite. Okay, and these comprise what is known as the podomeus. Okay, so here it can be like as such, the appendage typically it can be divided into protopodite, endopodite, and exopodite, or we can say protopodite and the two rami. Fine. So a Bioramous appendage, in the case of Penaeus, it can be divided into a protopodite and two rami. The protopodite, on the other hand, it is formed of the proximal base and coxa and the basis. Clear? So these two together form the part known as protopodite. Okay, and the two rami, they are the endopodite and exopodite. The names indicate the position of these rami with respect to the plane of the body. Okay, so this is about the what you call Bioramous appendage. Okay, now we have to move on to the different appendages. What is the function? What is the structure? You have to learn it in detail. Okay, now you can see here, right? These are the different kinds of appendages. Okay, so and cephalic appendages, you can see here, antenule, antennae, mandible, maxillae, etc. Right? All these are meant for either sensory in function, or it could be what you call for food capturing, or food shredding, or what you call grinding, etc. Okay, so that is what these structures are meant for. That is the appendages on the head region. Okay, it includes antenule, antennae, mandible, first and second maxilla. So here you can see how many are there. Antennule, one pair. Antennae, the second pair. The mandible, one pair. Maxillae, maxillae, it could be one or two pairs. It is first maxilla and second maxilla. Obviously, there are five pairs of appendages on the cephalic region of the cephalothorax. Okay, now the thoracic segment, we can see here maxillipids. Okay, the appendages on thoracic region, it is maxillipids and the walking legs. Okay, the thoracic appendages, there are you can see maxillipids 3 pairs and walking legs 5 pairs. Okay, so altogether 8 pairs of thoracic appendages. So 5 pairs of cephalic appendages and 8 pairs, 3 pairs of maxillipids and 5 pairs of periopod. Periopod, they are known as walking legs. 5 pairs of periopods, they make up the complete appendages on the cephalothoracic region. That means it is 5 plus 8, 13 pairs of appendages on the cephalothoracic region. Then coming to the what you call abdominal region. Abdominal region, they have what we call the pleopods, which are swimmerets or swimming legs, and the uropod on the last abdominal segment. Okay, so altogether you can see that there are like 6 abdominal segments. The first 5 segments have pleopod and the last 6 segments do have the uropod. So like 6 abdominal segments and 13 cephalothoracic segments, altogether 19 segments, 19 appendages on the it is present in the Penaeus indicus. Okay, so we will be learning it in detail, the structure and the function performed and the position it is in. Okay, so in detail we will be learning the cephalic appendages in the next video. Okay, fine, thank you.